Hey guys, how's it going? It's Unknown here. So yesterday guys, I was browsing around Reddit like I usually do. And in the Destiny subreddit, I ran into something pretty interesting. This guy came up with an entire subclass for the Hunter. He came up with the perks, grenades, abilities, everything, the entire subclass. He even has some concept images to kinda help illustrate the abilities of this new subclass. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today, guys. I'm gonna be telling you about this guy's subclass, because I just think it's so cool and so unique. So all credit goes to him for coming up with this amazing subclass. Again, this is not by me. I didn't think of any of this. It's all by HS Tego, or at least I think that's how you say his name. But anyways, I'm gonna leave a link in the description to him. I'm also gonna leave another link in the description to the original Reddit post. But anyways, now let's get right into it by looking at the Banerunner subclass for the Hunter. Alright guys, so let's start by looking at the grenades on this subclass. Our first grenade is Teleporter. Teleport where the grenade lands and immediately execute 2 spins with your sword. The grenade has a lower range on the throne. So basically you would throw this grenade, it will land somewhere, you would teleport there, and immediately do 2 slashes with your sword. So it says here that the sword is not your normal melee weapon, or your melee charge, nor is part of your super. It is involved with some perks, and it can therefore be part of your neutral game. The sword does 10% more damage than the usual melee in PvP, and 50% more damage in PvE. Also, the sword has slightly improving range. So this definitely makes the teleporter grenade seem very, very interesting, because of the ability to spin with your sword. After that, we have the portal grenade, a grenade that sticks to surfaces, fools that walk through, teleport to your initial position when you throw the grenade. And this is something I don't really see a use for if you can't use the teleporter grenade to teleport yourself. I guess it could be kind of unique to throw the grenade when you're jumping from one side of the map to the other. You just kind of throw it mid-jump in case someone teleports to the grenade. Then you just kind of fall off the map. But I doubt that enemies would willingly just kind of go through that grenade unless you threw it like right next to them. But I guess it could be pretty unique, that portal grenade. And after that we have Aegis. Hold L1 to create a sphere that pushes enemies away and protects you for 4 seconds or less. Contact causes damage. So this thing, instead of being a grenade, it's more like a shield, a sphere that pushes enemies away and protects you for 4 seconds. And apparently if you make contact with someone, that will damage them, which I guess is pretty unique because it's a defense option that also has some offensive capabilities by causing damage if you make contact with the enemy. Alright, so now let's move into the jump for this class, and the jump is Atom Walk. Run mid-air after leaving the ground. Yes, you guys heard that right, you will run mid-air after leaving the ground. So you will be running, jump, and you will continue to run mid-air. And that is just very cool. I don't know why, but that just seems like a very cool thing to do. The first upgrade we have for Atom Walk is Wider Field. Upgrades Atom Walk for a better direction of control while running mid-air. So it just basically gives you better control. After that we have Longer Field. Upgrades Atom Walk for a longer run while running mid-air. So this is pretty freaking cool. Just imagine seeing people just running mid-air in the Crucible. They just can't jump and they just continue to run mid-air. That would be so unexpected. You would have to definitely change your game up if something like that was in the game, since there's just so many ways people could use that to make plays. And the last upgrade for this is Additional Jump. Get an additional jump after running mid-air. So you would run, jump mid-air, continue running, then jump again. This will be very nice. It will definitely cover a lot of ground. So yeah, this is a pretty cool jump. I actually really like it. Alright, so now let's look at the super. And the super is freaking crazy. The super is really, really unique. So here we go. The super is Relativity. A huge sphere in which time runs slower for everyone, while you run slightly faster. A rather large area of effect. Time is slowed down by 50% in this area. Now fire rate, charge time, and movement of both your allies and enemies is increased. And then he gives an example. The ideal time to kill for the Monte Carlo is 0.9 seconds. In Relativity, it is 1.35 seconds. You move 10% to give you the actual feeling of using the super. It has no effects on your fire rate, and it doesn't affect your charges either. So yes, you basically slow down time for everyone in this huge area, but you are slightly faster than them. So you have the edge over them by being able to be slightly faster. The first upgrade we have for Relativity is Shared Understanding. Up to 2 allies can keep their movement when in the area of Relativity. A maximum of 2 of your allies, the ones who are the closest standing to you upon activation, can move as happily around as you did before. Their fire rate and charges are still slowed down. So yeah, basically you take 2 buddies with you, the closest ones to you, and they could move around the Relativity field just as you do, just slightly faster than anyone else. So yeah, again guys, this is just a crazy super. Just being able to slow down time would be very, very unique. And now this one, this next upgrade, it makes things even go crazier. So, Ground Zero Kelvin. Almost stop time completely. Your super only lasts for 5 seconds and it's in a smaller area. So now you have just completely stopped time. Time freeze effect only lasts for 5 seconds, so lasts slightly less than the normal Relativity would do. If you activate it when someone jumps, they hit the ground after the super ends. So you straight up just stop time, everything stops for those 5 seconds. Use that, it's in the smaller area, it doesn't have a huge area of effect like the normal Relativity super would do. And the last upgrade for this just amazing super is New Reality. Bullets and projectiles for your enemies travel significantly slower. Gravitation does not affect your foes. So since most bullets in PvE are hit scan, so no travel time, this would almost have no effect in PvP except for sidearms, Queenbreaker's bow, Lord of Wolves, and a few more. In PvE, however, you could dodge a lot more of the oncoming projectiles since those have travel time. The gravity means nothing for your foes until they leave the ground, so it jumps in PvP, staggering hits in PvE. Once they are up there, they will just continue floating. Pretty crazy if someone was just to jump during the super and they will just continue floating away until the super is over, and then they probably take the full damage and maybe die. So this is pretty cool with the no gravitation affecting your foes, cause no gravity would really mess with someone. So I definitely like the concept of this super. It is definitely the most unique super I've seen. I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about just slowing down time as a super. It's just very unique. Alright guys, so now we're gonna take a look at the special melee for this subclass. And the special melee is called Parry. Hold R1 to block an incoming melee attack with your shield and stun the attacker. So the shield is a fundamental part of your melee charge. The shield is activated when holding R1 and can be held up for 1.2 seconds, and it only blocks melee attacks. So yeah, there's this counter to melee attacks that would definitely be something very unique in the Crucible, because there's nothing that could just prevent damage from being done, at least currently in the Crucible. So this will provide some type of counterplay. You know, if you see someone's running at you with a shoulder charge, you could possibly activate your shield, stop the damage done by them, and also stun them so you could hit them. So that would be very nice. That would definitely add some counterplay. And I'm guessing you will also see with someone has it activated, so you won't use melee attack them at the time. So yeah, it's a very unique concept, and I'm surprised Bungie hasn't added something like this in the game already to provide some counterplay to melee attacks. Alright, so the first upgrade we have for this is Sword Counter. Counter with a very powerful swing of your sword against the attacker after a successful parry. So you basically use stop his melee attack and hit him with your sword for a very powerful swing of your melee attack. A very powerful swing, that sounds like probably Storm Grip type of damage, like 150, which would be a lot of damage. So maybe not Storm Grip type of damage, maybe use like 110 damage, because 150 is a bit high. But anyways, moving to the next upgrade, we have Shield Counter. Bash your shield against the ground to cause damage in an area around you after a successful parry. It wouldn't be enough to one hit a full health guardian in PvE, but in PvP it could take out a bunch of smaller enemies such as trolls, since in PvE is also where AoE damage cap comes in more useful. And the last upgrade we have is grenade counter. Get an additional grenade charge for a few seconds after a successful parry. So yeah, basically you block their melee attack and that gives you a grenade. Pretty standard. As long as you keep blocking melee attacks, I guess you could keep getting grenades back. I don't see how really that would be useful in PvP, especially since when they are at melee range, they're pretty close, so you're probably gonna be damaged by that grenade too. So I could see this being a lot more useful in PvE. Alright, so now let's move on to the other subclass perks. The first one is Slay and Pray. Increased melee attack speed, goes faster the longer you use your melee weapon. Melee kills, charge your abilities. So gives you a sword combo. Your first melee is unchanged. Use the usual hunter knife. The next melee is already performed with your sword, just like the following ones. The attack speed is increased. So yeah, basically the more you melee, the higher your attack speed gets with your melee. And it also ends up charging your abilities, which is pretty nice. Moving on to the next one, we have Lutece Particle. Iron Walk is slower and lasts for a second longer. Controls are improved, and you could aim down sights while I'm walking. So I'm guessing you couldn't aim down sights before while I'm walking. I'm guessing you could use hip fire. But anyways, now you have a longer iron walk. The controls are improved, and you could aim down sights. So you will have better accuracy when shooting in the middle of your iron walk. After that, we have On the Run. Increased hip fire accuracy. Headshot kills with hip fire create orbs of light for your allies. And we already know what gun to pair this ability up with. Yeah, the last word. You won't just be having some crazy hip fire accuracy with this. You will also be making orbs of light for your allies. This would just be crazy with the last word. As soon as I saw that I increased hip fire accuracy, I just immediately thought of the last word and the type of potential the last word could have with a perk like this. Alright, so now moving on to the next one, we have Angel of Decay. Your primary has a chance of bonus precision damage, and you are harder to spot while airborne. I'm not sure what it means by harder to spot while airborne. It in PvE that the AI for the enemies just won't lock onto you when you're airborne. It probably will go towards one of your teammates, but I can't really see how you will be hard to spot in the Crucible. And also the primary having a chance of bonus precision damage will pretty much just give you kind of like luck in the chamber or holding aces if you want to look at it like the Hawk Moon. But it will only give you that extra damage and precision damage, and it will also, I'm guessing, will give it to all your weapons, which will be pretty crazy, having pretty much all your weapons have a chance of doing extra damage on headshots. After that, we have Perpetuum Mobile. Kills with your super, charge your net super. And that's actually a pretty crazy perk. Kills with your super, charge your net super. It's basically like the Obsidian Mine for the Voidwalkers. Except that it's just kind of built in the subclass instead of needing an exotic to work. And the last one we have is Better Use for it. Parry lets you steal ammo from your attacker, and you gain an additional parry charge. And this is crazy. This is pretty freaking crazy, especially if you have, let's say, an enemy in the Crucible has some special ammo. He comes to knife you, you parry him, steal his special ammo, and then just kill him too. And that would be just the worst way to get killed. Do you get killed and get taken your special ammo? That would just be really bad. And also the additional charge for parry would definitely be something useful, since parry seems like a very strong ability here. So yeah guys, this was the subclass of the Banerunner. Very cool subclass indeed. There's a lot of aspects that I really like about it. Some aspects just seem kind of underwhelming, like the portal grenade, but some of them are very cool, like the Relativity and Parry. There's some very cool concepts, so this guy is definitely very creative. But anyways guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Remember to click the link in the description to check out the subclass for yourself. I also used to tell the guy that he did a very good damn job coming up with a new subclass. Also guys, comment down below, what do you think of this subclass? Do you think it would be good? Do you think it would be OP? Just leave your thoughts down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.